Admiral Zethkari had conquered 17 worlds in his illustrious career. Each time the pattern remained the same. His massive fleet would emerge from hyperspace, blotting out the local star with thousands of warships, and the primitive species below would surrender within hours. Fear was universal, he had learned. Every intelligent species understood the futility of resistance when faced with overwhelming force. Today should have been no different. The blue-green world called Earth hung before his fleet like a jewel, its surface crawling with the electromagnetic signatures of a barely spacefaring civilization. His intelligence reports indicated they had only recently achieved faster-than-light communication and possessed crude chemical rockets. A few orbital stations, some primitive satellites, nothing that could threaten even a single one of his dreadnoughts. "Sir," his communications officer announced, "we're receiving a transmission from the planet's surface." Zethkari settled back in his command throne, 6 arms folding with satisfaction. Another swift capitulation. The humans would beg for mercy, offer tribute, perhaps even volunteer to serve as a client species. It was always the same. "Put it through," he commanded. The holographic display flickered to life, revealing a human female in what appeared to be a military uniform. She had an unsettling expression on her face, not the terror he expected, but something that made his carapace itch with unease. "This is Admiral Sarah Chen of the Terran Defense Force," the human said, her voice steady. "To the unknown fleet currently occupying our solar system, you have exactly 30 minutes to retreat beyond the orbit of Neptune, or we will consider your presence an act of war." Zethkari's mandibles clicked in amusement. Several of his bridge crew actually laughed, a rare sound aboard a hegemony warship. "Foolish human," Zethkari replied, activating his own transmission. "You face the Karthek hegemony, conquerors of worlds beyond count. Your primitive weapons cannot even scratch our shields. Surrender now and your species may yet serve us as slaves." The human admiral's expression didn't change. If anything, that unsettling smile grew wider. "Well, boys and girls," she said, apparently addressing someone off-screen, "looks like we've got ourselves some target practice. Time to show these folks why you don't mess with humanity's backyard." The transmission cut. Zethkari stared at the blank display, confusion rippling through his thoughts. Had the human not understood? His fleet contained over 3,000 vessels, each one capable of glassing a continent. How could any rational being respond with such confidence? "Sir," his sensor operator called out, voice tight with confusion, "I'm detecting massive energy readings from the planet's surface. Thousands of them, elaborate. They appear to be missile silos, sir, opening across every continent. But the energy signatures they're reading as antimatter containment fields." Zethkari's blood chilled. Antimatter weapons required technology far beyond what their intelligence had indicated. Impossible. Our reconnaissance showed no such. "Sir," the sensor operator's voice cracked. "Mass launch detected. Thousands of missiles inbound." On the tactical display, Earth's surface erupted in light. Missile after missile streaked up from the planet, each one burning with the distinctive signature of antimatter propulsion. But that wasn't what made Zethkari's heart skip a beat. It was the sheer number. His screen showed 10,000, then 20,000. Then the counter simply gave up and displayed an error message. "Evasive maneuvers," he barked. "All ships scatter formation." But the missiles were already adapting, their trajectories shifting with impossible precision. Zethkari watched in horror as his outer perimeter ships, massive dreadnoughts that had never been seriously damaged in battle, simply vanished in brilliant flashes of annihilation. "Sir," his tactical officer reported, voice hollow with shock, "they're not just using antimatter. These missiles they're phasing through our shields. The warheads are materializing inside our hulls before detonation." Another wave of his ships died, then another. "How?" Zethkari whispered. "How does a pre-spaceflight species possess dimensional manipulation technology?" His communications officer looked up from her station, face pale. "Sir, we're receiving another transmission from the planet." Admiral Chen appeared again, and now Zethkari could see what surrounded her. A command center that pulsed with technology centuries ahead of what any hegemony world possessed. Holographic displays showed real-time tracking of every ship in his fleet, alongside tactical assessments that made his military AI look like a child's toy. "Oh, did we forget to mention?" Chen said conversationally. Earth isn't humanity's homeworld. We've been spacefaring for about 3,000 years now. Earth is just, well, let's call it our retirement planet. A nice quiet place where we keep our families and our museums. The tactical display showed his fleet was down to less than half strength and falling fast. You see, Chen continued, we learned a long time ago that the galaxy is full of bullies like you, so we've spent a considerable amount of time and effort making sure that anyone who threatens Earth gets a very thorough education in why that's a bad idea. Sethkari's flagship shuddered as a missile phase-shifted through his shields and detonated against the hull. Emergency klaxons wailed as sections of his ship simply ceased to exist. The weapons you're experiencing right now? Chen smiled that terrifying smile again. These are just our point defense systems, the stuff we use to deal with asteroids and space debris. If you'd like to see our actual military hardware, I'm sure we can arrange a demonstration. Through his viewports, Sethkari watched as strange geometric shapes began materializing throughout space. Massive constructs that folded reality around them like origami. Each one was larger than his flagship, and his sensors couldn't even properly analyze their composition. Last chance, Chen said. Leave now and spread the word. Earth is off limits. Humanity protects its home. Sethkari didn't hesitate. All ships, emergency jump. Retreat to the outer rim. As his surviving vessels fled in panic, emergency hyperspace jumped, scattering them across a dozen systems. Sethkari couldn't shake the image of Admiral Chen's smile. He had spent his career believing that fear was universal. Today, he learned that humans had weaponized it. In the depths of space, Earth continued its serene rotation, its blue oceans and white clouds unchanged. Its children had protected it once again, and now they returned to their museums and their retirement, waiting patiently for the next lesson that would need to be taught. After all, target practice was always welcome.